What's up, Internet, and welcome to On the Screen, the monthly podcast where we discuss a variety of topics revolving around the media we consume on the screen. I'm Tomato Man from YieldTomato Gaming on YouTube, and joining us today, as always, or at least usual, is Zombie Hand and Geek Scorpio from Gaming Theater Presents.
Hi! I think this is the first time I'm actually on camera for a podcast.
Yes, I believe so. And today, we are going to discuss some of our favorite console-exclusive titles. Now, by console-exclusive, I mean exclusive. No modern ports of any kind. It was only available on this one platform.
Question.
Answer.
In that case, what if it was for a platform when you got it or when it started, and then went to another platform, like
No.
with Halo, for example?
Unfortunately, no. That's what makes
No
it
cross
really rough.
generation.
Yeah, so I can't say Final Fantasy VII because they put it on PS4 and Xbox One and Switch.
And remade, yeah.
The remake, the remake would be fine.
Remake technically, no, because it's on PS4 and 5.
Oh, fuck, you're right. Well, you know what? You could say Integrate. You could say Final Fantasy VII Integrate, because that is only on PS5.
Yeah.
Leo's like, I hate this topic. I'm thinking too hard.
No, I've got one. It's just a weird one, and...
What about... not exactly a port, but all in the PlayStation Network, and you can play it on other consoles, but it was never actually ported.
Only official releases. That works.
What do you mean?
So, if it was, let's say,
One of my answers depend on this.
Okay, so let's say it was a game only released on PS3, but you can play it on your PS4 via PlayStation Now. That's fine.
Oh, okay. Then yes, I have 2 answers.
Oh, don't feel bad about this, because I actually I have it on Google pulled up, console exclusive games, just so we can take a look at some of this. Which, some of this is already wrong, because I see Ghost of Tsushima, which got a PS5 port.
Well, it depends when they updated that list. Because if they didn't update it recently, then who knows?
Yeah, it's the Google generated one. So I just typed it in Google, and it shows it shows Death Stranding, but it's a console family exclusive, but not a specific console. But it does show Sunset Overdrive, which is exclusive to Xbox One, console-wise.
It's on PC.
Exactly. So PC ports, I think I'm going to...
I have 3.
Yeah, I think I'm going to let PC slide, because so many things that are released on a console, whether it be Xbox, PlayStation, or even Nintendo in some cases anymore, like Octopath Traveler, for example, they end up on PC anyway. So, kind of just when I say console exclusive, I mean the only video game console it was on was the one. But it was on PC too, so whatever.
I really want Octopath Traveler I have it on PC, but I just...
See, that's kind of a rigged thing, because then you can go with anything from the entire Halo series, because they're all Xbox exclusive.
Then do the Halo series.
Let me think here.
Because it's... Well, it depends.
Hang on, we need the rules for this sort of...
because I don't know, I don't... well-versed in the Halo series, but if it was the Xbox 360 and was never ported to the Xbox One, or whatever the new... fine, but I think
4 and 5
if
are
it's
game.
If it's something that's
4 and 5 are game, I believe, are fine because
those are only on
Xbox One,
PC
and PC, yeah. But then you've got the Halo 1 and 1, 2, and 3, which have all been done in some way, shape, or form for the 360 and or Xbox One at this point. Because they had their collection pack. And you can just straight switch the graphics back to the original version. So it is literally like
that came out to the PC, too. I'm playing through that right now.
Yeah. Well, again,
legacy
PC aside, game consoles. So, you gotta pick the stuff that was on the Wii U that they haven't done a Switch port of yet.
Most of those games I don't play.
Wii U.
There's literally only 2 games.
Alright, so...
Like, for real, there's only 2. And one of them will never get ported. Okay, no, 3, because... but that number 3 will get ported. Anyway.
I had one. But it's actually on 2 consoles. Dang it.
A gasp. Yeah, this
So do we want to just fire them off?
I can't pick Trauma Center!
No, you cannot.
But you can pick Trauma Center 2.
So...
But I don't want Under the Knife 2.
I don't want...
Well, I mean... So here's the argument, though, with Trauma Center. It was a remake on the Wii. Not a port.
I have 4.
See, I'm helping. That being said, though, that means Ace Attorneys, even excluding the HD version, those got Wii ports. Direct. It was WiiWare.
On the Wii?
Yeah. And it used the pixel graphics and
Wow.
everything. Yeah, it was...
And the HD remasters have been... Do remasters count?
I would say the Ace Attorney ones would be fine game because they are redrawn altogether. And they had to modify the play system a bit for you to utilize a normal controller. Problem is, you got the Switch, and then you've got the PS4 and the Xbox that they released all that on. So, Great Ace Attorney Chronicle, that's a hard one. Because those were technically 3DS games that got moved onto the Switch and PS4. Shit, never mind. Well, anyway. Yeah, you have to think too hard on this.
Okay. So let's just shoot for the hip and correct as we go.
Yeah.
I think the way to go.
Okay, so I'm going to start just to make this, just because I this one's in my head right now and I desperately want to play it, oddly enough, right now. And I'm going to say Warioware for the Wii U. I don't remember what they called it. I'm going to pull it up.
Oh. Warioware Touch for the DS. That one was really fun.
They put it on the Wii U. It's a digital title.
Wah, 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 wah.
I'm sorry. Oh. I'm sorry.
You're out, sir. Move it up.
You thought you had something.
No, I do. WarioWare Touched got a virtual console release on the Wii U.
Oh. I was just saying that
okay, yeah. Game & Wario.
I wasn't saying it as one of mine.
They called it Game & Wario.
Oh, yeah.
And the thing about it I love the most is the Francs. If you don't know what the Francs are, it is a kind of like a party game where you slingshot these weird little critters that are colored. They're all square-shaped at a target, generally in the water. And it's kind of like got like different rings of points. And in some cases, it's like a tower on like a buoy. And they have different tiers on the tower. It's so much fun.
Ball, but...
Sorry, you glitched out there, audio-wise.
Is it like ski
ball,
but different?
It's like skee ball,
but
you're
kind of doing the same
them.
On my end. Leo, is he glitching for you too?
No, only you are.
Your computer sucks. I'm sorry.
Brandon's being mean.
Oh, you know what? Hang on a sec.
Do you have Steam downloading shit?
No. My Ethernet came unplugged.
Oh.
Did it default to Wi-Fi then?
Yes, and we have cement walls. And the Wi-Fi or the router's on the other side of the house. So I literally had like half a bar of connection.
Oh, you know what? Your video actually cleaned up quite a bit too.
Yay!
Yeah, because it was really choppy, and now it's far less choppy.
Far less choppy.
Yeah, Leo, you look fine. Okay. But yeah,
I look so fine.
Game and Wario is hilarious fun. Get out of here, YouTube ads.
Most of the WarioWare games are.
Where are you, Facebook? So I'm going to just do a new chat here in Facebook Messenger.
I can see your screen.
You can see my screen? How?
I don't know. I just see something flashing blue on the thing behind you or next to you. There's
a screen behind you too. Not that. Oh, now I see myself.
I see me.
Yeah.
No, there's a screen behind you that has like something flickering blue.
Yeah, that's my 65-inch television.
What's my size? What's my television size?
You don't know the size of your television?
I don't know. It's just big.
Okay, well, it's not letting me do the message thing, but you know, you can figure it out. Game of Wario, it's a good time. Currently only available on the Wii U, which oddly enough, the physical version of it is up there in price anymore, simply because the Switch, or not the Switch, the Wii U eShop is going to be going away soon.
Snap.
Yeah, I've got about a year left on that Game and Wario Wii U. Oh, Jesus Christ, on sale. Yeah, someone wants $120 for just the disc.
WarioWare?
Of Game and Wario for the Wii U.
Oh, Game and Wario. Okay.
Oh, $125. Yeah, this has gone up since I last looked. I bought it digitally because I was like, I'm not gonna spend $100 to play Francs. I will pay the $30 to $40 it is on the Wii U eShop.
I get that. Wee.
Yeah, WarioWare games are always a blast, so I figured that was a good one to start with.
Yeah.
Who's got any others? Since so far we're at one.
Well, okay, in that case, we'll just round robin it until we've run out.
Yeah.
Or quit. Okay, fine. So, one I've got is for the GameCube, Battalion Wars.
Oh, okay. 5. Yeah, I like the history behind that one, actually.
Yeah. And normally I'd put up a picture of Battalion Wars, but we don't have that option here.
Yeah, I'm just pulling up the thing on YouTube for it, just to show it on the recording here. But yeah,
okay.
It started off
because I have it in that it's in that pile of games back there. So I actually have Battalion Wars. I haven't played it because I have no GameCube to put it on.
The hell
I have a GameCube.
Oh, then I haven't played it.
You can play it on my GameCube.
Aw, thanks. But
do you have a Wii?
Me? Yeah.
What about you, Leo? You got a Wii?
Nope. What? No Wii, no Wii U.
I think Leo has a PS4.
I have a PS4 and a bunch of retro stuff for like SNES and Genesis.
Yeah, I have the Wii and I have a GameCube. So Leo, if you want to use my GameCube, you can.
All right, if I get the hankering for Battalion Wars. So Battalion Wars is a military-based game. Think of it, what I found was interesting is it's sort of a combination of a third-person shooter and a real-time strategy. The thing is so you could, when you're going through the game as a third-person shooter, you walk around and you can find other troops that will join your party, and they add on to your party. Now, you can alternately switch between those party members if you want to. So you could be a sniper, you could be a machine gunner, or you can be a rocketeer. Once you get to a vehicle, though, if you have enough people for it, the people jump into the vehicle, and then that's the vehicle's operation. And now, here's the catch, though. If they're in the vehicle, they can no longer go out of the vehicle. So once they're in the Jeep, they're no longer you lose those their individual skills.
So it's like a class change kind of thing.
It's basically a class change. I remember the last game that I played, I got stuck somewhere because they made a class change, and the catch is that now I don't have enough manpower to just go fight this battle I'm in. However, I have the biggest tank in the game because it holds 9 people, and so if I'm careful with it, I just fight my way through the whole thing
That's crazy.
because I have So what's interesting is because they have that many manpower. So if you see like 4 guns on the front of the tank, all 4 of them are firing at once and at their own targeting automatically.
Oh, wow, okay.
You just need the manpower to do that, to handle it.
Liz has naughty kittens.
Yeah, he's climbing up on my desk.
Yeah, I have to deal with Alphonse doing that. He's the only one who does it for attention. So
He does it to get to food.
yeah. So, I don't know if you were aware of the history behind Battalion Wars, Leo, but it actually started off as an Advance Wars title for the GameCube.
Mm-hmm. It was like supposed to be an offshoot of Advance Wars, but it was so different they decided to make it its own game.
Yeah, because it like even though the art style was close and reminiscent of it, it just didn't feel like an Advance Wars game to them, so they shifted it to its own IP.
The thing that bothered me with it, and this is an exclusive because the sequel is the one that's out for the Wii.
Yep. And
people think that that's actually an upgrade,
exclusive.
but no. But it's also exclusive. Oh shoot! I just came up with another exclusive that I want to do, but I'll round robin that when I get to my second show. Liz, you're up.
So one of mine is also a GameCube title. I'll start with this one. Eternal Darkness.
That is certainly not going anywhere. Yeah, that is.
No, I sincerely wish that we could get a port or a remake or remastered,
a sequel or a spiritual anything to it.
I like literally anything, but Eternal Darkness is a psychological horror.
Mm-hmm. It messes with the player on a different level.
Yeah, it messes with the player. So anytime that there's so you have an insanity meter, and if the insanity meter gets too high, or even just like a little bit, like once your insanity meter shows up, because these people aren't used to seeing monsters and crazy, like the crazy shit that happens. So once they see it, it's really subtle, but like, so you have the screen, and as soon as your insanity meter shows up, the screen tilts ever so slightly, so it's just a little bit off kilter, like right from like the second you see it, and it's so subtle that you don't notice it at first.
But it gets more aggressive as like your sanity meter fills, so it really fucks with you.
Yeah, and then the game starts messing with you as the player by doing things like making it look like your screen or your TV muted, and so then there's no sound, or like your controller came unplugged. Right as you're going,
card gets corrupted.
Yeah, well, there was one time when it told me that my controller had come unplugged right as a horde of enemies came out of a staircase, and I was like, "No, it's plugged in! I swear." There's sometimes it makes it look like there's bugs crawling on your screen, or like sometimes it'll knock, so you like then you go to the door and think, like, oh gosh, did someone knock? So that one was really clever, and really interesting with how they took the idea of horror and extended it to you as the player. And it's such a memorable title, but because Silicon Knights is gone, and nobody holds the IP rights except I think Silicon Knights.
It's a really weird. I actually have looked a bit into this because I also backed the spiritual successor that was on Kickstarter at one point, and when it was going to be released on the Wii U of all things, and yeah, I was looking. I think his name was. I think it's Dennis Dyack. Of Silicon
I don't
Knights.
remember. I just know the lawsuit business that happened.
It's a weird gray area where it's joint. It's kind of a weird joint licensing thing they've got going on in terms of ownership, because Nintendo actually owns the rights to the sanity meter itself, because it was being developed while they were second party to Nintendo. Before they separated.
Well,
and
I feel like some things need to change so that we can get just a port. Like, please,
Yeah.
come on. Just like a port or a remaster. I don't care. Something. But that one is phenomenal. I love it. And that's my first one. So
yeah, that's a good one. Because so I actually played. I did actually play all the way through that with my friend Woody, who you guys met at the escape room.
Yeah.
God, what is it, 2017? It's been like 5 years since that.
yeah, I think 5 years
been a
ago
while.
is when we met each other.
God, that's crazy. But yeah, so I would have a full LP of that on my YouTube channel if like the last 2 hours of video didn't get totally fucked in some way, shape, or form.
No.
And I saved over that particular file once we got through and finished it. So
Why?
Well, memory card space was limited on the black
No,
one.
okay. I thought you meant like the video file.
No,
Like,
no, my
why?
actual save file.
The
Otherwise,
save
we'd just like
file.
reload and go. But then it's like,
Mhm.
if we reloaded the last save before that, it'd be losing like almost 4 hours. And it's like, I really don't want to fucking do that.
No, it's not a quick game.
Like, it's the same reason why I never finished The Last of Us, because I dropped 7 hours into it to have a glitch where it saved nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm
Well,
like, well, I'm never playing this again.
I'll play it for you because I feel like that game is worth finishing.
Now, I think The Last of Us actually is a console exclusive.
They remastered it for PS4.
Never mind. That's out
That's
the
the
door.
PS4. That's the PS4 that I got. Is the PS4 that came packaged with the remaster. The Last of Us 2 is technically a console exclusive because I don't think it's on PS5 yet. Although
They
so many
haven't
things are
really
getting
yet.
the PS5 upgrade.
Yeah, that's what makes this particular topic really, really difficult, because, like, it's quality of
Sony.
life things they change to it, really, more than anything. It's not even, like, it's getting a massive graphical overhaul. It's just like, oh, you have locked 60 frames now, and you have new filters for, like, Ghost of Tsushima. You have a Japanese voice lip sync now added to it. It's like...
Yeah, I've been playing the Final Fantasy VII remaster with my sister, and remake with my sister, and she doesn't know anything about Final Fantasy, and so she loves this, but we started playing it on the PS5, and like literally the only thing that's different is the graphics upgrade, because I remember they said something about photo mode being in it now, but they actually only meant intergrade. I thought they said photo mode because one of the pictures that they showed for the promotion of photo mode of Final Fantasy VII Remake being on the PS5 was of Barrett, Tifa, and Cloud when they were climbing Shinra Tower. And I was like, yes, I can't wait to play in photo mode. And then it doesn't exist. So whatever, I guess.
You love photo mode.
I love photo mode.
And, you know, on the PS5, too, that version, like, you don't really... Like, you won't appreciate it the same unless you look up a side-by-side comparison of some of that stuff, because...
Well, and it looks beautiful on the PS4.
Exactly.
So, like, even looking at a side-by-side comparison, like, I think the only real difference would be, like, increased frame rate and a higher resolution. Particle effects, yeah.
Holy shit,
that's
the
a good
dust.
thing with, like, the Alan Wake remaster was the fact that the fog was now more dynamic than it was on the 360. And so now you had, like, a more dynamic fog. And outside of, like, the character renders, like, I didn't really notice a major increase. Like, it didn't play any different. I still had a ton of fun with it because of course I did. But,
Yeah.
like, oh, Ashley's gonna... Oh.
No, Phoenix is
There
going to
you
stop
go.
that real quick.
Ashley sometimes likes to paw at lightning. Anyway, yeah, so we can... Dude. She just got on my desk.
The lighting system and particle effects in the PS5 version is just like mind exploding. It's just so gorgeous.
Yeah, it does
So-
look amazing, but I'm like, all right, this still looked phenomenal on the PS4. Anyway, that was my turn. For my first one was Eternal Darkness.
Yeah.
Definitely a worthy one for sure. Because there really hasn't been anything really since that's captured the same.
Well, I think
fourth wall scares, you know.
Yeah, and I mean you can't license fourth wall scares in that way. But I feel like Silicon Knights had a lot. Like, I really feel like it could have been a real revolution for horror gaming. But nobody has done anything with it. And like, yes, Nintendo owns the insanity meter or the sanity meter. Okay, so go partner with Nintendo and make a game with it, or find a different thing that you can use. But I feel like the fourth wall breaks
instead. There, so done.
The fourth wall breaks was so interesting. And I'm not saying no game has done it since then, but like nothing has done it in the way that Eternal Darkness did. And I think that's what I would love to see again.
Right, yeah, like you can
let Kojima do it.
Oh my god, yeah.
Like, scare the shit out of me.
See, and here's the thing too. If you make it an exclusive, you can really, really mess with people if you wanted to take that route. Because if you license an exclusive thing with, let's say, Sony, because I've seen the rebuilding database screen when there's a power surge, or if my system has an XMB lockup on the PS4, for example, you see it rebuild the database when you turn it on.
Or if it has like when you if you don't shut your PlayStation down correctly and you get that screen that says that it needs to reformat your drive or something, like I would lose my mind. After PT got taken off of the PlayStation Network, I didn't turn my PS4 on for something like 6 months until they got it figured out. And because people were people had to like brick their system. Yeah. And so, when I finally did turn my PlayStation back on after PT finally got itself sorted out, I still had to sit with my system for almost 2 hours just doing like anything except a factory reset to be able to get it to turn on. So I still have PT, but like, oh my god, it like the screens when I was like troubleshooting, when they're like, hold down the power button, wait for it to beep, and then hold it down or keep holding it down until you hear it beep 3 more times, and that does like an SVGA reset or something like that. Like,
I've had to do stuff like that. A
horror game where like that shit starts popping up, or where like your battery on your controller is dying, and you're like, oh no.
Yeah, so like if you partner with if you make it a first party exclusive of some kind like that, you can mimic these screens and fuck with people on a different level, because
and like Eternal Darkness did a thing like. When my sister and I were playing, we actually got the thing that made it look like you'd sat on your remote and muted the sound. That's not even what my sister's TV mute looked like. And she still was like, are you sitting on the remote? Why is the sound? What? And I was like, I don't know, I'm not. And so we were like freaking out about it. And then when it was done, she was like, that's not even what my TV looks like when it's muted.
Yeah, and so many of them now. Yeah, and so many of them now have their own, like, unique animation for the volume control. Like, I know Samsung's have a fucking, like, circular bullshit, like, so that wouldn't fly like that now. That wouldn't
work now, so now you have to mimic what the console is doing. And even if it's not console exclusive, you can still change it so that those things are different. Like, make one go blue screen of death, or, that your computer Windows needs an update, and, what
would it be, like, a, critical video hardware error has occurred. Have that appear on screen with blue.
And like whatever the Xbox has now, just various errors that you can get. Battery, like controller batteries being low, just shutting off so it makes it look like your console came unplugged or something. Like something. And it would take more work so people say like, this is what the Xbox versions would have, and this is what the PlayStation versions would have, and this is what PC versions would have, and this is what the Epic Store versions would have, and what have you. But that would be so cool and so genius to do.
Yeah, even if you just go the route that the Batman Arkham game did, where like you get the graphical glitch with the Joker. And I say that because I had that exact kind of glitch happen to me on the Xbox 360 while I was playing GTA 4, and it bricked my system. It glitched just like that before my system bricked. So when that happened, when I'm playing Batman Arkham on PS3, I shit you not, I had a panic attack on the spot. Like, no.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That makes sense, yeah.
So, I mean, it can still be done if you're very careful with it, but if you make it... I don't know. I want more games to really go outside the box in that regard, like Eternal Darkness. Yeah. And I feel like we're probably at this rate never going to see anything like it again.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully we do. The only thing I don't anticipate with the way that, like, I'm sure, like, the games industry works this way, but you see it a lot with horror games, is once something is done well anymore, you're immediately going to just see, like, 50 clones of it. Yeah. Like, the PT clones that came out in the, like, year and a half after PT came out was, like, and even still came out, like, just within the last few years. Yeah, it's a hallway simulator, but to the point where everybody's like, okay, the third time you go through, this happens. When you lock in, or when you go in this room, this happens. You know, like, it came down to, like, a formula. Dude.
It's rotating in terms of which color cat you pull.
Yeah, anyway, I have several more games that I could go on about, so let's make it Brandon's turn. Wait, are
actually,
you this way?
It's been Brandon's turn this whole time, and he just doesn't do anything.
I'm the other way. There you go. Yeah,
it's Brandon's turn. On my screen, you're above me, so it's like Brandon's turn.
Yeah,
for me, Brandon's over here.
Jesus, I have squeezed the window so it forces it into a threeplex, like that's horizontal.
Liz is down there
on mine.
Hey, Liz.
You.
So,
but anyway, Brandon.
Yeah.
Look, while we were talking, I've got like a pile of 10 or 15 that are starting to pop into my head now.
Oh, good. Good. Yeah, you do that. So I actually just thought of a couple too. Shit, but one of them now officially doesn't work. 'Cause I just remembered they ported it to the Wii U in Japan.
Wah wah.
Pick a different one.
You want to skip your turn?
No, I don't think that's fair.
I don't think that's fair. It's you're the one who's skipping. It's a voluntary skip.
I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna pull out Bloodborne here.
Oh, that one hasn't been ported, has it?
Not even to PC
yet. It is a PS4 exclusive.
And I love how all the weapons are transformative.
Mm-hmm.
Every single one of them becomes something else. You have a fucking cane that turns into Ivy's sword whip. That's dope as fuck.
It's also very Victorian. You don't see Victorian style.
It's Lovecraftian, straight up. It's just Lovecraft horror. Like,
I need to play it still. I bought it.
Oh my god. Yeah,
I've heard the lore is also like extensive and in depth and wonderful. I had a friend years ago send me just I think it was like a 192 page like essay of just the lore, and I was like, I'm not gonna read this.
Oh man,
I appreciate this.
Put it as in book form. I'll read it, but I don't want to read your Wikipedia version of this.
Like, the game starts primarily as a Victorian Gothic horror. But if you look at it and are aware of some of the Lovecraftian trope, as you play through the game, you watch it slide more into Lovecraft-style supernatural extraterrestrial horror. And even, like, the ultimate final boss is literally a fucking alien fetus that beats you to death repeatedly with its own amniotic sac. It is terrifying.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds like Silent Hill Homecoming.
Fuck, man. But it really does start off like werewolf-y kind of stuff, because like there's an excellent early boss called Father Gascoigne, who is driven mad by the events going around, and he literally transforms into a weird wolf beast and starts just ripping you to shreds. It is so insane because it happens halfway through the fight. the first half you're fighting a normal-sized guy like you would as a Dark Souls boss, and then halfway through he just explodes into a giant wolf creature and starts wrecking your day. Oh, so good.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I've been
and
wanting to play Bloodborne since I started playing Elden Ring.
oh yeah, no, it's the biggest gripe I have with it is that you literally have to farm your healing items.
In Bloodborne?
Yeah.
I'll do it for a good story and a fun game. Like,
Oh man,
there's not a lot I wouldn't do.
I played through it with a basically a hand axe that would turn into a halberd. Because I love halberds. That's like my pole arms are like my weapon of choice for medieval fare, in most cases. But then I decided to experiment a bit and started using something called the Kirk Hammer. The Kirk Hammer is literally a giant concrete brick, literally the size of your character, that is on your back. And otherwise, it's just a normal longsword. When you hit the transform key, though, he sheaths it into the giant stone brick, and then just starts swinging it around as a giant hammer.
Oh my god.
And you can combo
Amazing.
this stuff.
I love that.
You can combo the transformations to create different attack patterns. Like, you can swing twice with the sword, and then hit the transform, and then he'll sheath it, and then you'll hit attack again, and then he'll just swing the whole axe. It's like...
That's so wild.
And then you can hit transform again in that swing, and he'll just click it onto his back and pull out the sword. And then you can start doing your fast attacks again. It's like... Stuff like that makes it feel like the combat is very dynamic.
Reminds me of an old PS2 exclusive, like, first gen series of games. I think it's called EOE. Edge.
EVO?
I want to say it's EVO. Let me see.
I think it might be EVO, because that is a game. I do remember it.
Not EVO. EVO game. Nope. Although EVO, the game, is Search for Eden, and that's an exclusive to SNES. They have never ported that.
Oh,
Which is a real
EVO,
shame.
yeah.
Eve of Extinction, that's what it was called.
Yes. EVE, yeah, because it had big letters like that.
Yeah. In Eve of Extinction, one of the neat things about it is as you go through the game, you start fighting bosses, and you take their weapon. When the more of the and every time you take one of their weapons, you it allows you to combo by switching weapons in the middle of the fight. But
Okay.
if you do it right, I think you can switch to every weapon in the game in one straight combo.
That's awesome. So is this like a fighting game, or what is this?
It's a I want to say hack and slash, but that's not exactly right. It's more like a beat 'em up.
Okay, so like in the vein of how the Yakuza games are beat 'em ups.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They have cutscene events in there, but it's more akin to a beat 'em up for it. Its graphics are basic.
It looks like it was an early PS2 title, yeah.
It was one of the first PS2 games, so yeah. Like Orphan, and I think it's called Orphan.
Yeah,
Wow,
there's
yeah,
a Sorcerer
Orphan.
Stabber game.
I haven't even thought about Orphan in so long.
Well, they rebooted the series too. Brand new anime.
Still haven't thought about it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Didn't come up.
Yeah.
That's
Or how
not my
about,
exclusive I picked. I just wanted to bring that up there.
There's also a game just straight up called Extinction for the PS2.
Is that your pick, Leo? Are you going EOE for your...
No, I had a different one in mind. Mine was Body Harvest.
Oh, maybe it's not just
Old-
called the Extinction. What the fuck am I thinking of?
So the Body Harvest was an old N64 title. This was Rockstar before around the it may actually predate Grand Theft Auto 3.
It does. Or
which is their big
yes, I'm trying to remember because
Wow, if only we had a way to look these things up.
that's no
we
fun.
don't.
The internet
Hang
doesn't
on.
exist yet, not for another 36 years.
Let's see here. Body Harvest
Ew, that's an
originally came
ugly
out
bug.
September 30th, 1998.
Oh, you are
in Europe.
Googling it.
I know it's before the 3D one.
The first GTA came out in 97.
That's GTA 1 though, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, but
that was when it was still a
GTA
top
3
down
is the
thing.
one that you're
not the one I'm talking about. I don't play GTA.
So GTA 1 and GTA 2 were all both top down type style. It's not until GTA 3 when they actually turned it into a complete 3D environment, and that's when Rockstar becomes huge.
Yeah, they exploded.
They exploded with Grand Theft Auto 3. So much so they used the same engine 3 times. Actually, the same engine 3 times afterwards. Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and then San Andreas.
They might have used it even more with the stories titles for the PSP.
Stories of
for like Liberty City Stories and Vice City Stories.
Their early Body Harvest was basically Grand Theft Auto 3, but much earlier design for it.
Like a
but
beta
they had
engine,
the same
basically.
Beta engine. It's one of those things with it's the engine that came out, and rather than what a lot of game companies would do, especially back then, was if they wanted a whole new title, trash it and then make a new engine to go with the game to make it more exclusive. Instead, Rockstar had perfected using the same engine and just refining it over and over and over again.
You
for
can
Body
see
Harvest,
that here too.
Yeah. In Body Harvest, one of the things that they removed that's not in Grand Theft Auto 3 is NPCs. There's very few of them. So when you're playing through Body Harvest, enemies will almost always just randomly pop up. And I loved it because there's a bug that they just purposely left in for laziness sakes. So the plot of Body Harvest is you're a guy who travels back in time and has to go through, and each stage is a section of a time era that you have to deal with. The first one's like 1919, and then the next one after that is 1919 Greece, and then 1944 Java, which is an island. Surprisingly, not as much coffee as you think.
And then probably not JavaScript either.
No.
Not for a long time.
Then after that, it's 1969, United States, and then 1999 Siberia. And so as you go through and then the last stage I think is in the future where the main character comes from in the first place. But my point being is, in 1918, when you go to Greece, you have to find a shield to use to reflect light, to bounce this light into a torch to light it on fire.
Very Indiana Jones.
Mm-hmm. Or Olympics, because the original Olympic torch is actually lit solarly.
Okay, yeah.
Because they use the same process since the beginning. However, they don't get rid of this shield when that puzzle's done. So if you just hold it, you just have a laser cannon that you can use to get through the entirety of that first area.
Well, that's cheating. I love it.
That's not. They didn't take it away like they should have. They're like, I'm like, all right, you have this machine gun.
It's not like the Hitman homing briefcase where it was a bug and they took it out and then made it a feature.
That's different.
It's only a bug if you don't call it out.
But yeah, Body Harvest was a fun game, but it was ridiculously hard. Unfortunately, one of the things in it was like constantly spawning enemies, so you could have to fight constantly with that. At some point, I remember I was just getting lazy and just started hitting everyone with my car.
Yeah, that sounds about right. You can totally see like remnants of the Body Harvest engine in the GTA games, because their mini-map reticle is virtually the same, just in a different position.
Yeah.
Because like in San Andreas, it's just the bottom left corner instead of being the top right. And it's a red circle in Body Harvest, it's a black circle in San Andreas.
Yep.
So yeah, it's definitely just continuing to refine the engine because it worked, which is super fair. I mean, if it broke, don't fix it.
All right, so that's my second one. What about you, Liz? What you got?
My second one, I've forgotten quite a few of mine, so
part of the fun. It comes and it goes.
Ooh. Okay, I can think of two.
If it helps, the 64 has a ton of exclusives.
I didn't play the 64 growing up.
Mario Party got ported to the Virtual Console. Shit.
Mario Party 2. Nope, my second one will be, and this is why I was asking about if it being in the like PlayStation Network counted, is Parasite Eve. Because that's never been ported.
So here's the thing that makes that extra extra legit for the list. It is, in fact, just a ISO file, because you can use your PS1 memory card on the PS3 and save your stuff to it. I know that because I did that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, all the PS1 classics on the PS3, they're just PS1 games, because you still have to either have a digital memory card.
They just put an emulator on it.
Yeah, that's what they did.
Yeah.
They just, each disc is a built-in emulator. It's
backwards compatible because they put an emulator on it. That's it.
Yeah, because I have the memory card adapter. In fact, when I did my Final Fantasy VII review that I have on my YouTube channel, I played almost entirely on my Vita, transferred the save data to all the different save datas to my PS3, plugged in a PS1 memory card, copied the save data, and then loaded them up to get the video footage on my PS1 that was at my desk to do the capture. Like, I'm not kidding. I went to town to do that. And it's like, it's so versatile that Sony let you do shit like that. But yeah, no, Parasite Eve is a fantastic game. I mean, PS1...
It is. I would love for Square to remember that it exists. And to... Yeah, since they're... I mean, I say since they're in the game of doing remasters and remakes. Yeah, but I mean, they've literally done the Final Fantasy VII remake, and then the first 6 Final Fantasies is the Pixel remaster. So it's not like it would be a little bit different, but I would love to see a remaster. I mean, and that game already had pre-rendered backgrounds. Like, the game looks pretty good, all things considered. I think just like new character models would be cool, but
not even a remake. Just polish them.
They're a little bit dated.
Well, yeah, but they're not nearly as dated as Final Fantasy VII's, which were just polished.
Right.
They actually did remodel, like, for Final Fantasy VIII, which is, in fact, the same graphics engine. So yeah,
but they did give them, like, in certain aspects, they changed the polygons, but very mostly just around the face. But yeah, like, I think that a Parasite Eve remaster would be great. A port would be phenomenal. A remake, I would die for a remake on the new engine. Like, I think that they could do some really incredible things, because if they would just embrace the horror aspects of it, because it really was like a nice blend of horror and RPG.
Yeah. And it used the Vagrant Story, a prototype version of the Vagrant Story combat system.
Yeah, and, like, I loved, like, I don't know, there was something about it, like, it was, like, kind of a subtle creepy, but then there was something about Eve that would freak me out so bad. And I just think that the whole thing was done really, especially, like, the boss fights, and, like, the one, when you have to do the fight in the horse-drawn chariot thing.
That's such a weird segment.
It is, but like the horses being on fire, and like they could do some really interesting horror stuff if they really wanted to.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to deny that it wasn't cool, but it's just like it's so different.
It's so weird. So yeah, I think that and they could even do like their battle system was kind of even similar-ish in a way to the Final Fantasy VII remake, a way.
I was going to say, actually, the FF7 remake engine would, like, that whole combat system and engine would be absolutely perfect for a Parasite Eve remake. Because it's literally just, you're playing as Barrett, but as a hot chick the whole time.
Yes, exactly.
You want to use your Parasite abilities? Hit the tactical button.
Yeah, and it would just be so good, and like that game is so well done. Like, even now, I think the only thing that I would change is the walk speed for Aya, because you move at a snail's pace when you walk. So just like increase the walk and run speed.
My headcanon is she's in heels the whole time, and that's why she's so slow.
I mean
she starts off in heels, later. So it's
she does, but you see her put on boots later.
We don't talk about that.
But
high heel boots. There you go.
There you go.
Stiletto spikes.
Oh gosh. So yeah, I think increase the walk and run speed, and bam, you got yourself a great port. And even then, like the Final Fantasy 7 and 8 ports to like the Switch and PC were so good because they actually added in the 3x speed mode, and at 3x speed, I would just walk like a normal person.
I'd be power walking.
Yeah, and then they also did the God modes, but you can take or leave it. I just feel like with how good Parasite Eve is, just remaster the first one and pretend the other two don't exist.
So,
in my personal opinion,
I mean, Parasite Eve is basically Parasite Eve is basically a David Cronenberg movie.
Sorry, what did you say?
Fine. 3 is garbage.
2's fine. It's whatever. 3 is pretty garbage.
It's actually kind of funny because I think the director of Parasite Eve 2 was actually a member of the Resident Evil 1 team. And that explains a lot of the similarities you see in that one.
So weird because they also changed it from like 3D controls to tank controls, but it was literally because of the popularity of Resident Evil. Like they stated it was the popularity of Resident Evil that they switched to tank controls. I'm like, dude, you had a really good system going for you.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yes, and instead they tried to change it, and I was like, yuck. Spoiler alert, I don't like tank controls.
Yet you're a huge fan of Resident Evil. That's just that's super special awesome. That is ass backwards.
No, it's not. That's dedication.
I played them growing up, and then I outgrew the tank controls.
I will still play the shit out of tank controls, but
Sure,
what I will say is
understand and respect people who do like the tank controls and who will stick with them. It's just not my jam.
My brain will hurt if I try to play those old games with not tank controls. I'm sorry. Like the fact that they exist in the HD versions of RE1 and 0, it's like, no, get that the fuck away from me. My brain will implode.
If I try using tank controls anymore, my brain, I haven't used them in so long that if I try to now, I just will start running like in weird like circles and stuff because I'm like, oh, let's go up the stairs. Oh, I'm going the wrong way.
Going up the stairs, and I'm going down the stairs, and I'm going up the stairs, and now I'm down the stairs.
And I'm turning in a circle. Like,
why am I shooting the floor? I don't know.
So yes. Yeah, anyway, Parasite Eve is one of my other ones because phenomenal. Love that one.
Yeah, no, it's I was almost gonna say that one too, but I'm glad you beat me to it because that means we're gonna get a bigger variety because now I'm gonna keep us scrolling. And damn it, nope, that one got ported onto the PSP.
I mean, I can go again, or Leo can go if you need to do some
I'm
research.
trying to participate in the conversation rather than go through and be like, and that was an exclusive.
Oh, it was like that one time when I think it was just me and you, and we did the best games of 1998 or something.
Oh,
and
it was our game of the year for 2000.
Yeah, and it ended up just turning into me and you reading Wikipedia pages.
Yeah, that's fine. So what?
Here's the Wikipedia about it.
It's like, we need to figure out these games for this. It's like, yeah, I definitely need to, like, have everyone prep for one of those ones again.
If it's gonna be that one, give us a couple days warning so we know to start doing some research.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go back. Baton pass.
Yeah!
Liz gets it. That's a joke.
Boop.
Leo, it's your turn.
Oh, okay. It looks weird from my side. So I'm gonna have to go with another 64 classic. I was gonna do Smash Bros because every single Smash Brothers game is an exclusive.
You can't do the first one because that one got put out on the Wii Virtual Console.
On the Switch,
yeah, that one did. But all the other ones are exclusives.
Yeah, no, all the others are 100% exclusive.
But the one I wanted to do is Blast Corps from the 64.
Okay, I'm familiar with this one.
So Blast Corps is a crazy game. Your job...
fucking weird.
So fucking weird. So they have a semi-truck that's carrying down 2 nuclear warheads, and it's going down, and it's lost its driver, and it's driving forward. Your plan option is, let's see if it runs out of gas. But oh no, it'll hit that building. All right, what if we destroy the building and take that out of the way?
You see that building?
Let the truck,
fuck that building.
Then let's let the truck go through it. All right, and so you end up, so you end up leveling a path. And then you go back to that stage. Yeah, they're paying us to level the whole town. Just destroy everything at this point. All right. Wow. I'll destroy everything. And if you can do it, and we have you on the clock. If you can do it fast, that'd be great.
Speed run this, please.
The faster you do it, the better.
And that's the 99% of the entire plot of the whole thing. Every stage is basically take a vehicle, destroy this town in a different way. The only thing I hate about it is half the stages had the sideswipe, which is a dump truck, and the only way you can actually get it to destroy a building is to drift it just enough so it hits the side of the building. But if you lose too much speed when you drift, it'll actually not do enough damage, and you have to do it spin out all over again.
So you have to have a bunch of momentum.
Yeah, you have to have a bunch of momentum, but you're basically trying to spin this truck out of control. So it start here and just and hope you can hit the building on your way out.
He's like, I must hydroplane on nothing.
Wee.
They have stages with mechs in it. We just don't have it in every stage, and that makes me mad.
That would make me mad too. I am a big fan of the giant robots.
I'm just saying, I have a motorcycle with twin rockets to destroy a building much more efficiently than trying to sideswipe something into it.
Nah, it's great though. Yeah, no, you're fine. Do it. Do it again though. But do it better.
Yeah, go get it.
Totes exclusive on that one.
Yeah. I'm still looking.
Liz, you're up again. I'll pass it on.
So, I have one that I got Ooh, you know what? I said confirmation. Let me check really quick.
Let me confirm my confirmation here.
The source is legit.
I have one now. I just scrolling and I hit a certain section. I'm like, oh fuck yeah, that thing exists.
Is the new Xbox the Series X or Series S or Xbox One S or
the Xbox One and Xbox Series?
No, what's the newest Xbox that's out?
The Series. Both of them, both X and S. If it's Xbox Series, it's the new one.
Damn it.
What was it?
Hang on.
That was on the Genesis.
There was one in my head, but then I
was gonna do Quantum Break, but you can actually play it on the new Xbox consoles.
So is it backwards compatible or is it a full release? I think it's just backwards compatible.
Xbox, Windows and Xbox. Okay, sweet. Or Xbox One. So yes, Quantum Break. So Quantum Break is from one of my favorite game studios, Remedy. I have Quantum Break stuff on this shelf right here.
He's right there. I'm circling it now with my mouse. Yes.
Yeah. So Quantum Break is from Remedy Studios, and it follows Jack Joyce as he accidentally becomes kind of like a time manipulator, and he can manipulate aspects of time, including like slowing down time. He has like a time shield, it's really interesting, similar-ish to how Braid plays with time. But he deals with people who have in fact built time machines and have gone back in time and from the future in time, and basically there is going to be an apocalypse where time stops, across the universe. Time stops, and it causes a lot of problems. So
yeah, that's a bad thing.
It is a bad thing, and so people are trying to get it to stop, and it's really fun and really phenomenal, and it is one of the 5 or 6-ish games that I've 100%ed on Steam. I loved it so much. I played it 5 times one summer just because I was so in love with it.
I remember that actually.
Yeah,
because you were like, you gotta play it. It's like, yeah, I know, thank you, and then I eventually did.
I think it was 2 summers ago or 3 summers ago.
I think 2019,
I think. Yeah.
It was before the world ended in real life.
Yeah, so it was almost 3 years ago now. I just sat down to play it and was like, my life has changed. Has Lance Reddick in it, who we were talking about earlier.
We were. Toys R Me, motherfucker.
Yeah, it has Shawn Ashmore in it.
He's awesome.
Aidan Gillen, who most people will probably know him from The Wire and Game of Thrones. And Courtney Hope, who she does mostly soap operas, and she's a model and a fitness instructor, and she also is Jesse Faden in Control by Remedy Games. So it's got a really amazing cast. It's really well written, and also proves that Remedy, they have video game sequences where you play, and then they have 20-minute, 23-ish minute episodes that you watch that follow the story of other characters that you don't.
Yeah, it's like a crosscut. Would be
so it's
term they use for film.
Yeah, and so it's you're following characters that you briefly meet or only really hear about in the game, but they have a big impact on the plot. And so, but in 23 minutes, they do what some shows can't even do in an hour. And so well done. Phenomenal game. And I will pimp that game out to anybody who even shows a remote interest, because it's really fun and it's really interesting, and I love it so much.
I will say that when whoever was in charge of writing the game, they understand the concept so well of how time alteration would actually work.
It's probably Sam Lake. He actually does a lot of the he has a creative writing major or something, and so
because it really
he does
is
most
strong.
of the writing on the games that he's on.
Yeah, because the whole plot thing is people are like, well, just go back in time to before he built it. It's you can't.
You literally can't.
The core has to have existed to get there.
Yeah, well, because they also, when you go through the time machine, you go in the time machine and you come out the time machine, the same time machine.
Yeah.
Just wherever it first existed.
Wherever the core is now is just that's where you end up at that point.
Yeah, and so at one point in the game, there's 2 time machines. So you have to, one of them is over here and one of them is over here. And if you go back in time at this one, you can only go as far back as its first existence, its creation. This one, same thing. So it's really well done, and he doesn't create the paradoxes don't they coincide in a way that makes sense.
Yeah.
So the fact that there's 2 of the villain, well, I say villain, I would argue that he's not the villain, but I could make a whole just topic about this. He there's 2 of him existing at the same time. It's just one is 17 years older because he goes back in time in 2016, ends up in he actually ends up in 2021. He ends back
up at the era at which time has actually stopped.
Yeah, that's right. He ends up at the time where the era when time has actually stopped.
Well, that's where he's from, actually.
No.
And he's going back to try and prevent it or some weird shit, right? No?
No. So he enters his time machine in 2016. It is not built to code, or it's not built to code.
There is no code.
I like that.
Oh, who is it?
In a break, not build the code.
Billy Boyd is also in it. And so Dominic Monaghan. Dominic Monaghan is in it. And Dominic Monaghan built the first, his name's William. Will built the first time machine, and that was successful, and it worked. And then this other person tries to build a time machine, but Will is like, no, your calculations are wrong, and if you use it, shit's gonna go bad. And he doesn't listen. He's like, whatever, you're crazy, you've lost your mind. Like, he's always been a little bit, like, people think that he's crazy. I think he's autistic.
He is,
but
yeah.
Like, nobody wants to listen
his character
to him.
is written that way. You can tell.
Yeah.
If you've ever met someone that is autistic, which I have, a number of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's his character.
And that is how he is written. And even more so in the novel. It's a lot more apparent in the novel. But he tells him, if you make this, or if you run this time machine, it will cause problems. And oh god, Paul is just like, whatever, dude. And so he goes into his time machine. It malfunctions. He ends up at the end of the world, and he finds a newspaper that says that the world ended in 2021. So he goes back to the time machine, or not his time machine. He finds Will's time machine and goes back to 1999, but is followed by Beth. And because she wants to kill him. So they both end up back in 1999. So we have these versions. We have the 2016 version of Will and Beth, or not Will and Beth, sorry, Paul and Beth, back in, like, the 2016 versions back in 1999. And then you have the 1999 versions existing at the same time. And they managed to keep themselves hidden because they understand the impact of what meeting your younger self could do. Granted, I mean, not major spoilers, but Beth does end up meeting her younger self briefly, but
unknowingly, though.
No, she knows it. She goes searching for her.
No, I meant the younger one.
Oh, the younger one, yeah.
The younger one doesn't know that it's a future her.
Right.
Because precautions taken.
She was like 12 or 13 or something, and so when somebody who's 17 years older than you show up,
you don't look the same. Even if you're the same person, you're not gonna look the same.
Yeah. So now, anyway, it's really well written and it's really well done, and I love the story. And that sounded like I told a lot of spoilers. That's probably literally
nothing.
In the first hour of the game.
That is maybe an hour's worth of content. Compressed into a 5-minute spiel.
Yeah.
And that game is like 20 hours plus if you include all the stuff.
I think the thing about Beth is a mild later game spoiler, but most of what I just said is literally in the first hour. So phenomenal, 100% recommend it, and Xbox One exclusive.
Yes.
And PC, but whatever.
It doesn't count.
Doesn't count. God,
I'm going to verify that this did not come out on the VC.
Also, while you're looking that up, the character, I don't remember his name, but he plays... So you have a choice pretty early on. The character Amy Ferrero who's played by Amelia Rose Blair, who's Brian Deckhart's wife. She gets kidnapped, and you have to make a decision on whether the villain will kill her or not. And if you don't have her killed, then she joins you for the rest of the game. If you do have her killed, his name is Nick. If you do have her killed, Nick joins you for the rest of the game and essentially takes her role, but he's a conspiracy theorist.
So yeah, everyone thinks he's crazy.
Yeah, but he totally believes Jack because he's just like, oh my god, I knew it. He actually plays Jesse's brother in Control. So, yeah. Anyway, I really love Remedy games, and I don't think it shows.
No, not at all. No, never. I don't think anyone would ever accuse you of being a fan of any title made by the Remedy studio.
Wait, we didn't? I accused her of that all the time.
Like every day, right?
Brandon,
No.
Brandon, you accused me of that before the podcast even started.
I did, yes. But Leo, you walk by her room and it's like, hey, Liz, what? It's like, fucking fangirl, and then just walk away. And he says nothing because it's true.
It's true. No, so what we do in this house is we go, I'm Leo and I'm smart. And so it sounds like you're mocking, but it's actually like supportive in a way. Sometimes
it's the offensive way of being supportive. I'm Leo, I'm smart. I have all these great friends and a lot of people like me. I'm Leo.
Yeah, and I mean sometimes it's like
it's really flattering but condescending and not okay.
It can be. We can get mildly passive aggressive if we need to, but it doesn't usually. Normally we're just like, hey. But so it would be more like, I'm Liz and I love Remedy games, but Leo would be saying that.
I'd be more like, I'm Liz and I love Remedy.
There we go. Hey, we got the one take we needed.
Yeah.
That's a wrap. Let's go.
It's just true. I can't deny it. Sometimes it'll be something that's like a flaw and it's like kind of hurtful, but you're like, oh, I mean, you're not wrong.
How dare you point out my insecurity?
It's not hurtful in a mean way.
Sometimes I get lazy and I go, I'm Liz.
Yeah, sometimes that's all.
That's all I got.
Funds.
I'm Leo.
You think I'd come up with more?
No. Oh my goodness, gray kitten alert. Come here, Ashley.
He hates me right now. He literally grabbed my leg and started like clawing me, super aggressive.
Oh, gray kitty alert.
Oh, he giving my hand limbs. Oh, little lemmy boy.
Oh, hi Ashley. I love you.
Watch the video cast for videos of kittens.
So cute.
I'm gonna get attacked for going at your tummy, huh? Yep, I sure am.
Okay. All
Ow.
right. I'm putting you down.
Don't be a butt.
You go. You're gonna love that blanket. Okay, sorry. Anyway, whose turn is it now?
I'm gonna go again now.
Okay.
After I put down this this isn't a fat cat, but the fat cat's over here, being fat on the floor.
Oh, fat cat.
Huh, Esper. He had a cold. He was sneezing a lot. So the next one I'm going with is a Super Nintendo title called Metal Warriors.
Oh, I remember that game.
So
sorry, you mispronounced Mario RPG.
No, because that was on the Virtual Console on the Wii, so fuck off.
Wow.
Gotcha.
I'm Brandon.
And I use the internet. No, this game is like up my alley in almost every way. It is a side-scrolling action game, which is less up my alley. But it is a mech game straight up, and there's multiple mechs. You can get out of your mech, run around and shoot little people yourself, and then hop into other mechs that you find in the arenas and areas. And it's got a multiplayer mode, a one-on-one multiplayer, where you pick your mech, and you can do the same thing. So you can get out of the mech, find other mechs in the arena for the multiplayer to attack your opponent. It's
That's
crazy.
Awesome.
This is a game by fucking LucasArts, of all people. Mm-hmm. And the engine was shared, I found this out recently, with Square for Front Mission Gun Hazard.
Oh.
Yeah, so and
because you love Front Mission.
Front Mission's fucking dope. But yeah, Gun Hazard's never been released outside of Japan, but I have a reproduction in the other room because I put it away off of my desk. And yeah, I mean, they're both excellent titles. It feels really good to run around in these giant machines because you can break all kinds of bits of the environment. Mm-hmm. And,
it's always fun.
Yeah, and again, they're little people walking around. You can step on them, you can shoot them, or you can get out and shoot them. Either way,
I'm gonna fight him. No, he's bigger than you.
Yeah. Yeah, it is like the absolute go-to mech game, in my opinion, for the Super Nintendo, just because there is nothing else like it aside from Gun Hazard, and that didn't come out over here. The closest equivalent is Cybernator, but you can't get out of your mech in that.
Cybernator.
Yeah. which that was put on the Virtual Console.
Data.
So, but this wasn't. So, actually, it's the Cybernator, Front Mission, Gun Hazard, and Metal Mech are all referenced as games that play very similarly for all kinds of reasons. I've never heard of the Metal Mech. Oh, that looks like NES. And it looks like Mech Warrior. It's like a side-scrolling Mech Warrior for NES.
Huh.
That's bizarre. But yeah, I just was scrolling through my list of games that I have and saw that. I'm like, you know what? That's the one I'm going to go with, because that game's dope.
Here you go. That's all you need sometimes.
Yeah. Anyone else got any more?
Let's see.
I have one.
Ooh, but I guess I will go first. I'm trying to think of something that's not on the N64, because the N64 has a ton of those.
Do you need some time to think?
That's called a cop-out.
That's called a cop-out for Leo. Like, GoldenEye is one. Which is weird, because, like, as popular as GoldenEye is, never remade it?
I think it got put on Xbox Live Arcade.
I feel like, I recently started getting, watching a lot of, I recently started watching a lot of videos about people who cheated at GoldenEye speedruns.
Why?
Oh, wow.
Because people want to get on leaderboards without putting the work in.
Yeah. Okay, so it didn't get put on Xbox Live Arcade. That was a canceled project. So that's my bad.
I was going to put it in one of the Ninja Turtle games, but unfortunately, that is
just getting straight ports, yeah.
That ports now. Well, I guess technically right now it's one.
Yeah, it's still legal game.
It's still a legal game. But then the only one I can think of is the one for the NES, and I actually don't, like, I find it fun. It's just so balls-ass hard, I hate playing it.
You like Turtles in Time the best, right?
Oh, everybody likes Turtles in Time.
Everyone likes Turtles in Time is best. Turtles in Time is on multiple lists of the best co-op game that you could play.
Yeah, it's on a lot of actually best Super Nintendo game lists, even.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I have 2 games.
You know what? Move on to Liz. I'll come back to you on this one.
One of them, this one is actually the first one that I thought of when the topic was announced, and then I forgot to actually mention it. But Haunting Ground.
Shit, yeah.
I love Haunting Ground. I know it's in the vein of like Clock Tower, but it was the first game that I played that had the run and hide mechanic, and that freaked me out because what would I do? I mean, like, I like to think that I could put up a bit of a fight, but like in an abandoned castle after I was in a car accident being chased by a bunch of people, like, I'd probably find a place to hide and cry.
Yeah, well, so the guy that's chasing you is like 400 pounds.
And he has the mental capacity of a child who doesn't understand what he's doing, and so like he crushes you. And
a hug would kill you.
Yeah, and so that game was really good, and one of the points of pride in my my gaming collection, because I got that used at GameStop for like $18 back in 2006, and now it goes for like $175.
When was the last time you checked that? Because it's higher.
Ooh, what is it now?
Last time I looked, I think it was like $400.
Oh my god, go look. I'm gonna show my copy too, because my copy is in really good condition. Like the case is in phenomenal condition. There's no real like crinkles.
Damn, yeah. So I'm gonna go to sold listings here.
Yeah, there's like minor tiny little scuff marks on the back that you can't even pick up here. The case, amazing condition. Has the guide, or has the booklet manual. Insert, the manual, yes, in
the manual,
amazing condition. There's like, it's barely even like bent a little bit on the sides. The pages are in great condition, and
Yeah.
That okay? Well, it's picking up the my.
Everything reflective. Yeah, it's because it's a perfect mirror.
Well, I like my my curtain has silver lines in it, so that's it looked like great.
All right,
look, there's
Liz, are you ready to hear this?
Yes.
On March 14th, on auction, one sold for $405.
Oh my gosh.
On the 17th, one sold as a buy it now for $369.
So if I ever just needed to make some fast money.
Yeah.
Fast cash.
It's the
I
same
also
thing with Rule
have-
of Rose. That I
God.
think, but Rule of Rose is like actually I think $600 or $700 now.
I would really love to own a copy of that. Over here, I also have Obscure the Aftermath,
The
Clock
sequel.
Tower 3,
Yeah.
Fatal Frame, and then Dance Dance Revolution. Oh, DDR Max Dance Dance Revolution.
Max.
I mean, I've got a whole bunch of other ones, including all 3 Trauma Center games.
Yeah. Rule of Rose, March 5th, auction sold for $660.
God, I would die for a copy of Rule of Rose.
I found my wife actually pointed at a spot in a flea market that had a bunch of. She's like, "Let's check over here. We haven't gone over here yet." I'm like, "Okay." And I saw a box of expansion packs for The Sims 2. I moved the top one, and there was a single PS2 game. It was Rule of Rose. I paid $6. It had the soundtrack.
Oh my god.
The soundtrack alone has sold for $200 recently.
If I had $600 to spare, I would ask to buy it off of you. I have a really nice PS2 horror collection. Like, I've even got my Silent Hills over here and my Resident Evils over there. Like, I would die to have Rule of Rose in my collection.
Yeah,
Just die.
Die. I'd also like
are...
Clock Tower 3 to round out that trifecta of those 3 that came out around the same time, even though Clock Tower 3 was like kind of the least impressive of the 3, but whatever.
I also have a little gem called Kuon, which I've mentioned to Leo previously.
Oh.
I got that for $25. On the low end, that game is $550. On the high end, that is $1,000.
Yeah, if we ever all needed to make some fast cash.
Yeah, PS2 horror games, man. Those
we have some really good collections. But anyway, that's mine. Haunting Ground. I guess I could tack Rule of Rose onto there because that one is also only on the PS2.
Yeah,
but
and I've played about half of that with Chicho.
It doesn't play very well. It's not
very clunky.
Yes,
but it's very fascinating in its atmosphere that it's built.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, this could be something completely different or that we could talk about separately later. I just feel like the ending was not very clear-cut. But again, that's another topic entirely.
Yeah, well, and that's kind of also the point of the game is to be very ambiguous and not clear-cut on a lot.
I mean, it was kind of the point of the ending that I ended up having to look up quite a bit, and it wasn't stuff that I thought was like, oh, the symbolism of Silent Hill 2, you know, like, of course, that stuff will leave you feeling a certain way, but until you really start digging into it, you might not fully grasp all the symbolism of. But I feel like the story with What's Her Bucket at the end, I don't know if you know the ending, but...
I don't. But
okay, well then I won't say anything.
What's Her Bucket, because the save points are literally bucket men.
Oh yeah, I say "What's her bucket" and "What's his bucket" a lot.
Yeah, it's literally like broomsticks strapped together with a bucket on top of it, so it looks like a stick man with a head. That's how you save in that game. It's fucking weird.
Yeah, no, I've seen a bunch of it. I don't own it. I've never been able to play it, so I've just watched people play it. But the ending, it is just very. It's a little bit lackluster in my opinion, but. The answers are there. It's just not very like clear cut.
Well,
it's not even like I don't even need it to be clear cut. Like I didn't even get like the ending happened and I was like, what was that? Like what happened here? So that's my opinion. Anyway, I think that I have one more if we get to it, but you guys.
Yeah.
I don't know how much time we have left, but
we've got as much time as we need, really. But I mean, we probably should call it relatively soon. We don't want to go into the 3-hour range.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was telling. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, my last one I wanted to do is kind of a weird one because it is exclusive, but a remake as well.
That's totally fine.
So, Shining Force, it came out for the Sega Genesis originally. However, it was kind of broken. Like, certain plot aspects didn't make a whole lot of sense. And so they re-released it, but completely updated everything to Shining Force in the Game Boy Advanced version. And the Game Boy Advance version is the one that most people, that I think is the better one of the play, because there's a series of characters that come out at because you are a soldier that also a guy who gets washed up to restore, and you end up making these huge teams of soldiers in the vein of like XCOM and other tactical games like that.
Oh yeah, no, this game is a total fucking remake. I'm sorry, I pulled it up. All the assets are completely new in this, so that's
but it still follows the story of the original game. However, there's like 3 characters that you usually get at the end of the game, and what they added on, one of the things they added on is their story. So you would play the main story, and then you'd get the side story you'd play right after, and then the main and side story. So when they meet up, it's not as confusing as it was the first time.
Kind of like with Golden Sun and Golden Sun Lost Age.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it was really well done, and then they fleshed out all the characters in there. And they still changed around some of the mechanics to make them work better. However, everyone still has their niche. There's like something like 5 different knights in the game, but one of them his name is Arthur, gets magic because he hangs out in the magic place, and he's the only one that gets magic.
I'm special. Ha!
I'm special. Yeah. He's not even that great of a knight or that great of a magician, so you take what you could get. Like one of the most powerful ones that you get is a guy named Gunsage, is just this armadillo in a mech suit. And
that sounds amazing.
Super high offense, super high defense, but can't move worth beans.
Huh.
Takes 2 steps and quits on me.
Shining Force, Resurrection of the Dark Dragon.
Yep.
Huh.
That's the one.
Well, that's an Atlas game.
I'm out. But yeah, the coolest thing about that is that between all the fights that you do, you have a small base that keeps that they have to basically rebuild a new base each time, or find a place for a base, because you have 30, 40 characters. They gotta live somewhere.
Very Suikoden.
Mm-hmm. And you go in there and you can visit and chit chat with them and and talk to their backstories.
Huh. Ooh. That is a robot called Laser Eye. That is concerning.
Yeah, that's not a lie. He shoots a laser eye. That's not a weird take on his name. That's exactly what he does.
It literally looks like just a giant laser cannon. So yeah, I'll take it. Oh boy. How about you, Liz? You got another one you want to pitch in on?
Yes, and it is also an Atlas game.
Oh no.
I'm finally going to say it. It's not going to be Persona 5, even though I don't think that's been ported anywhere yet. And
it was on the PS3 and 4.
Yep.
But not Royal.
Ah, Royal! I love Persona 5 Royal. It's the only version that I've played of it. It's so good! No. Although I am looking at the insert coin blazer that they have of the Shujin Academy blazer.
You're spending my money right now. I don't like you.
It looks phenomenal, and I've wanted to cosplay Akira for a while. Anyway, I am going to say Trauma Center Second Opinion remake on the Wii.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I love that game. I loved that game the first time I played it. I loved it the second time I've played it. I've loved every time I've watched somebody else play it. My favorite is the Game Grumps.
Yeah.
Although
cranberries.
That one's my favorite. I love the nurse. His vitals are goofy as fuck. No, so I loved Trauma Center Second Opinion anyway. I played it on the Wii way back when the Wii first came out in 2006. And I played it with my cousin and I loved it. And then in 2014, it was January 2014, I got like death illness. It was just like, it was sinus, ear, and upper respiratory infections all at the same time with like a cold on top of it. I was just like a walking infection from the lungs upward. I was in pain. I had severe vertigo. It was not a fun time. I was on antibiotics for everything. And my friend, Eric had sent me a link to the Game Grumps playlist of them playing Trauma Center a couple months prior, and at that point I was like, I need to watch something that I don't have to put a lot of energy into paying attention to, and that has low movement, because I had such bad vertigo that even a camera rotating could cause me to get nauseous. So I ended up watching the Game Grumps play it, and it was hilarious. And now whenever I get like sick like that, because it's like a thing for me. I've gotten pneumonia. I got bronchitis for 2 months, which my sister thinks was like pre-COVID COVID. Hey!
Yeah, what's up?
Sorry, the cats are fighting.
I know that feeling.
And then Leo and I recently got COVID, so
all three of us have had the COVID.
We were so careful for 2 years. We were so careful, and then Leo had to go and get COVID and bring it home to me, and it was awful, and we were both miserable. And anyway,
asked for a sandwich, came with a disease.
Yes. So I've rewatched it regularly, but then in 2014, after I moved. Oh no, it was 2015 when it was January 2015 when I got that sick. 2014, it was the first time I moved in here, and Leo lived with Krista at the time, his ex-girlfriend. Sorry, Leo, I didn't mean to say it that way. And she and I played it together because she had played the DS version. And I had only ever played the Wii version, and we didn't have a Wii, so I went out and bought the Mario. It's like the Wii Mini in the Mario Red.
Yeah, the pop top lid version of the Wii with no internet function.
Yeah, and so I got that, and we ended up playing Trauma Center again, and I love it. If they would port it to the Switch, I'd play it again. Yeah, I don't know. I love that game so much.
Why is the guilt multiplying?
Hey, I see a cat behind you. Oh, there he goes.
What are you doing, Alphonse?
Yeah, so that one it's ridiculous. It's silly. I love that it takes itself way too seriously.
It's like if ER was an anime turned into a game,
yes.
It would be this.
Grey's
I have
Anatomy.
failed, and once again, I must
Yeah,
leave the entire...
Derek fails one surgery and is like, I'm gonna go walk into the sunset by myself, crying.
I can't take losing another patient. I'm gonna
You've
quit
lost
right now.
one! God, it's so funny.
I like how the floor is made of jello and the reflection is fucked up. The exit sign is in the wrong spot in the reflection on the floor.
And I love the jello floors. It's so stupid.
Just bright green jello for a floor.
Yes. Oh god. Anyway, that's my last one. It's so good.
Yeah, no, that's good choices. I'm actually surprised that Trauma Center never got an anime adaptation of any kind.
God, I would have loved the shit out of that.
Just because of like its entire art design is as such.
Yeah. Well, and like Personas have like 3, 4, and 5 have all gotten animes.
In some form, yeah. 3 got like 4 movies.
Yeah, 3 got the movies, 1 for each semester. And they actually got a sequel series.
Oh, I didn't know that one.
Yeah, I have it. It's called... Because I'd never played Persona 3 before. And so I was watching these with my friend. Let me see if I...
That was during Atlus's controversial era. You know, when they released Rule of Rose and
Love that for
RPG
them.
where you shoot yourself in the head to get superpowers.
Yes.
That's called Persona 3.
Yeah,
yeah, I know.
My personal statement with that is, man, we got to figure out a better way to do this.
Yeah. So I've actually got a headcanon kind of theory to that. In 4 and 5, they go into Hey, you be nice.
All right, while he's telling his cats to be nice, it's called Persona Trinity Soul, and it is a sequel series that's 26 episodes, takes place like 16 years after the events of 3, and you follow some schmuck. I don't know. I don't know anything about it yet. I haven't watched it, so.
Well,
anyway.
My headcanon theory on it is that in Persona 4 and 5, they actually enter the metaverse. They enter the Shadows universe, basically. And that's where where their all their powers are manifesting. But in 3, they manifest forcefully by the Seize gun, because the metaverse is breaking into the real world during the midnight hour. So they're not entering that world. That world is entering theirs, and they're forcing that power out using that gun.
Mm-hmm. I like that. I can get behind that.
I mean, it makes the most sense in the context, because, again, it's like a tower that appears for 1 hour each night.
Yeah.
Versus you just being able to go to a TV or hit a button on your app.
Yeah, that makes sense. But I agree. I really feel like the Trauma Center series could be made into a really cool animation.
Oh, and yeah. And
I think, like, I don't know. I feel like it is also, like, I think the only real weird thing that they might have is the surgeries themselves. Because
they would be very shonen in their presentation for that to work.
Yes. And I just feel like in the games you get a different way of, like, you know, when you're just seeing like a washed out pastel watercolor version of the body and the table, and, you know, you're like, you know, you're not actually watching, like, I don't know. I'm really into medical dramas right now. I have been for about a year. And like there are creative ways to hide it or like show certain things, but like Atlas would have to decide, are they going to go like the Grey's Anatomy Chicago Med route where they just show like creative angles, or are they going to go full on like Akira where they show like muscle and sinew? Like, yeah, that's not Atlas's jam.
I am not a fan of Akira for reasons like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was more like an example.
Yeah, I get you. I straight up understand that. I think the best way for them to take that approach would be to pretty much have like a, like, you know, like that shimmer effect kind of thing when like in an anime when they're about to like do a superpower, like speed up or teleport or some weird shit. Have that kind of thing happen around Derek, and then have like his patient kind of become that silhouette in front of him so he can focus.
Oh.
And that's when you start seeing all of that. I think that could work really well. Like, he's kind of like,
pitch it to Atlas.
No, pitch it to Madhouse.
Pitch it to Nintendo and Atlas and Madhouse.
Because I want Madhouse to animate that shit.
Yeah,
I demand results.
I'm not writing it.
No, me neither. But I'm just saying, the number of times that I have gone on Twitter and I have added various people for the things I'm petitioning for, including a Trauma Center port, a Parasite Eve remake port or remaster, and TNT to finally send me a Resident Evil Apocalypse. Wait, wait, is Apocalypse the second one?
Yep, it sure is.
Yeah, so I want TNT to send me the Resident Evil Apocalypse version that they show on TNT.
TV cut.
Yeah, but I want their TV cut specifically. I literally contacted TNT customer support via email once, trying to get them to send this to me.
I will buy
never
it.
got a response.
Gimme.
I told them, like, please send it to me on DVD. I don't care. Like, send me the MKV file. Like, whatever. I don't care if it's like 240p or whatever. I just want it. Thank you. This is my preferred way to watch this movie now. And they never get back to me, but neither does Nintendo or Atlas or Square, and I don't expect them to, but I petition on Twitter.
Yeah, the only person who ever got back to me of any, like, I guess, merit would be, like, the guy who got let go from PlayStation PR recently. Because I mentioned that I never met our rep. I'm not even sure I had a rep. And he's like, you might not have, actually, because there are a couple of dead zones where there is no retail representative for certain areas. I'm like, wow, that's bullshit. And explains so much.
I have a couple. Sam Lake liked one of my tweets.
Oh, I had DC Douglas directly reply to me a few times.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Jamie Alexander. Yeah. Jamie Alexander retweeted a tweet once because I asked her to for my birthday. She played Sif in Thor.
Oh, nice.
Angela Aki, back when Last FM would automatically post like once a week what my top plays were. There was one time Angela Aki I had listened to like 174 times that week, and she retweeted that.
There's one crazy person who would listen to me.
I love her music. It's so good. I'm sure there's a couple others, but those are the ones that stand out to me, because when Sam Lake liked my tweet, I was like, Senpai noticed me. Listen, I will chill out if I end up working for Remedy, okay?
And then I just remembered the Kasumi meme I sent you about Netflix and chill. More like hentai with senpai.
Oh, God. So terrible. She's 14.
Yeah, and?
15.
Oh, wait.
You're gonna get canceled.
Yeah, no, I'm already canceled. No. Pedophilia is bad.
It is bad.
No, for real though, not okay. Don't do that, guys.
Yeah, it's a bad time. But for realsies, if Sam Lake ever sees this and I'm working for him, I swear, I just love your games, and I think you're a really good creative writer. Oh, there's Phoenix. Hi, buddy.
I believe you, Liz. You're not the creepy stalker.
Look at him. He's so cute.
I can't not look at him. He's right there.
Phoenix.
Huh? What?
Phoenix.
He looked
Hi,
up.
babe. Phoenix.
God, he's a pretty kitty.
He is very pretty. He has some neat markings on him.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so cute. You're so handsome.
Okay, well, one of my cats just knocked something off of a stand in the other room. I heard it bounce, and then I heard a cat run.
My cats were recently attacking the treat jar.
Well, it's because you need to give them treats.
I did earlier. Oh, Phoenix, I'm sorry, babe. Okay, I'll give you one. Come here.
All right. Well, I think that's a good spot to call it for the night. I would like to thank everyone so much for joining us today, and don't forget you can check out the videocast version on youtube.com/YieldTomato, which is where you'll be able to see our lovely faces as well as fuzzy fur babies.
Several cats.
You'll also find links in the description there for all of our speakers. Hopefully you'll join us again for more magic that we all enjoy on the screen. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.